Hi everybody, Jacob Peabody here, and today I will be talking about from my birth till currently. And I'm 18 years old now, so I'll start off from my birth. When I was born in Fargo. Then I was brought back to Twin Valley where I lived up until I was 4 years old, give or take. Possibly 5, pretty sure it's 4, because I went to kindergarten in Fargo, but I moved there a year before I started attending kindergarten. And then I lived in Fargo in some townhomes, the 2 houses in one place things. I lived in those we lived in those, I think, 2 years. I was able to attend kindergarten and first grade while I was there. And then we moved back to Twin Valley where I started going to school in Twin Valley again. Then while we were living in Twin Valley, we were living with my grandma and grandpa. We then moved into my current stepfather's house. He lived just a block down the road from where my grandma and grandpa lived, actually. My mother met him and started talking to him when I was in second or third grade, one of the two. And so then we ended up moving in with him, and they're currently married now. After we lived there for 2 or 3 years, possibly, I'm not really sure how long we lived there. We moved into another house, which was conveniently right across the street from the high school, which to this day is one of the greatest things to me because we have to be at the school by 8:20 is when school starts, and I'm sometimes late even though I wake up at 7 o'clock. I still manage to be late sometimes. It's fascinating. But I went through elementary. I never really had any problems. I've never had any problems with school. School was always an easier thing to me. High school as well. I have always kind of liked school. Always liked math for some stupid reason. It's just what I like. I've never cared much about English. It's just never come to me very well. Something that was very hard for me to pick up on. So writing papers and stuff was a little harder, but taking these comp classes now made it a lot easier. I've taken both my Comp 1 and Comp 2 classes already. That was this year alone. I'm taking my public speaking as of currently, as you can tell. I took a college physics, just finished that, and hopefully did decent on the final. Hope. And I took college algebra, which was relatively easy, I guess. But we'll see. We'll see how that goes. I plan on attending NDSU next year for mechanical engineering. Go Bison. 5 Pete. Working on 6. So that should be fun. I'm hoping I have a good time. I'm a people person. I like to be around people, so I'm assuming I'll enjoy it there, being around people all the time. My mother and father never got married, so they've always been split up since I was born, and both of them ended up getting married. My mother is married to my stepfather right now, and he has four kids alone. He had 4 kids alone when they got married, and then they had another one. So I have 5 siblings on my mom's side. My dad got married quite a while. He got married a long time ago. I'm not sure when. I was real small when it happened, but his wife didn't have any kids when they got married, so they've had 3 kids since, and he had one before me. So I have 4 siblings on his side, so I have 9 siblings total, which is a lot of siblings. I'm surprised I can remember their names half the time. But growing up has always been very interesting with them. There's never a dull or quiet moment, to say the least. You're always putting up with constant fighting, whether it's you fighting with someone or listening to others fight. It gets old fast. It'll be kind of nice to move out next year and not have to deal with that. But at the same time, I feel as though I'll get bored not having to deal with something besides siblings, you know. So I'm just hoping that I don't get bored at school, because then I'll have to come home and get sick of their fighting real quick, which is not any better. But that's mostly my life experiences. I don't really have a whole lot more to talk about, I guess.